Do you ever find yourself repeating things over and over and over? You get the point. We're going to be talking about that today. Hey guys, and welcome back to God's Word Made Simple by Simple Servant Ministries. I just want to take a moment and welcome you. If you are new to this channel, I want to say welcome to you, and we hope that you'll stick around. God's Word Made Simple is exactly what it sounds like. We want to take God's Word and make it simple. Make sure that you hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so that you can be aware of all the content that comes out. If you don't hit that bell, you will not be notified when new content comes out. Today we're going to be going over chapter 4 of the book of Proverbs in our series on Proverbs, or in the Proverbs. So today we're talking about chapter 4, and chapter 4 is really kind of a recapping of a lot of what Solomon has already said, and he's repeating it because it's important, and he's speaking to his son, so we don't know how much attention his son is or isn't paying, but he's repeating this information because it's important. So essentially chapter 4 is kind of an overall summary of what we've already covered. So we're going to go through chapter 4 a little more quickly than we have the other chapters. Hear, O sons, now this time it's plural, so that's important, the instructions of a father, and give attention that you may gain understanding. For I give you sound teaching. Do not abandon my instruction. When I was a son to my father, tender and the only son in the sight of my mother, then he taught me and said to me, let your heart hold fast my words. Keep my commandments and live. Acquire wisdom, acquire understanding. Do not forget nor turn away from the words of my mouth. Do not forsake her, and she will guard you. Speaking of wisdom, love her, and she will watch over you. The beginning of wisdom is acquire wisdom. You kind of need to begin getting wisdom in order to have wisdom. And with all of your acquiring, get understanding. And again, we talked about this in previous videos. So if you haven't watched the previous videos in the book of Proverbs, go up here in the cards and click that card right up there and watch the first handful of videos in Proverbs and then come back to this one. Prize her, and she will exalt you. She will honor you if you embrace her. She will place on your head a garland of grace. And again, that kind of symbolizes a crown, right? She will present you with a crown of beauty. And got ahead of myself. Verse 10, hear my son. So now he just recapped what his father told him. Now he's moving on to tell his sons, or his son. Hear my son and accept my sayings, and the years of your life will be many. Remember, we talked about that in a previous video, so I'm not going to rehash that one. I have directed you in the way of wisdom. I have led you in upright paths. And parents, I want to challenge you right now. Could you honestly say this of your relationship with your children? Have you taken the time and effort and sacrifice to teach your children wisdom? And chances are you have not, because we live in a society that does not value wisdom by and large. So I want to encourage you, teach your children wisdom. If nothing else, walk through this video with them or read the Bible directly with them. Verse 12, when you walk, your steps will not be impeded, and if you run, you will not stumble. Take hold of instruction. Do not let go. Guard her, for she is your life. And again, we talked about all this in the previous videos. Verse 14, do not enter the path of the wicked and do not proceed in the way of evil men. Again, talked about that in previous videos. Avoid it. Do not pass by it. So in other words, don't even go near it. In America, we say, I wouldn't touch that with a 10-foot pole. Okay. Avoid it. Do not pass by it. Turn away from it and pass on. For they cannot, the evil people, for they cannot sleep unless they do evil, and they are robbed of sleep unless they make someone stumble. For they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence. But the path of the righteous is like the light of the dawn, that shines brighter and brighter until the full day. The way of the wicked is like darkness. They do not know what they stumble. Verse 20 through 27 is the final section in this chapter. My son, give attention to my words, incline your ear to my sayings. Do not let them depart from your sight. Keep them in the midst of your heart, for they are life to those who find them and health to all their body. Now this is important and a little bit different than some of the previous sections. Watch over your heart with all diligence. Now remember, he's talking to his son, and in chapter 5, we're about to talk about adultery again, right? Or the adulteress specifically, okay? We could also just say a prostitute. That would be a fair analogy, okay? So we're getting ready for another section on that. He's having the birds and the bees discussion in the adult sense of it. Okay, verse 23, watch over your heart with all diligence, for from it flow the springs of life. Seems like Jesus talked about that. We talked about that in a previous video. Put away from you a deceitful mouth. So we not only need to guard our heart, but we also need to guard our mouth. Put away from you a deceitful mouth and put devious speech far from you. That one is pretty self-explanatory. Let your eyes look directly ahead and let your gaze be fixed straight in front of you. In other words, have a clear goal and pursue it with everything and don't let anything distract you. And that clear goal should be gaining wisdom and growing in godliness. Verse 26, watch the path of your feet and all your ways will be established. Do not turn to the right nor to the left. Turn your foot from evil. So again, guys, chapter 4 is really a summary of what we've already read, as well as a tiny bit of a prequel to chapter 5. So we will pick up in chapter 5 next time. So guys, if you have any questions, let me know. But again, this is really a summary of the previous section, slightly more in depth. So a much shorter video today for chapter 4. Thank you guys very much, and God bless.